Hey, good morning. How are you guys doing? It's another beautiful day in San Diego. I'm so excited to be sending another video out to you, checking in, making sure everyone's doing well. I know this new normal has sort of changed how we live, how we socialize, and how we spend our time as a community, as individuals as well. And so I'm hoping that you guys are taking these opportunities to really dive in deeper, not kind of sit stagnant, but connect with those around you, with your family members, with friends, and maybe even in your community in little ways. There's ways you can give back and contribute from your home. All of us at Classical Academy Personalized Learning Center, I hope you students are logged into your Summit. I know you guys, Summit Learning Shirt. I know you guys know how to do this. You guys have done this, some of you for a few years now, but this semester, you guys have already completed a whole semester. Now you're in the second semester. And so this is a great opportunity for you guys to really shine. You have that dedicated focus time at home to be getting those content assessments done, working, collaborating, and really you have an amazing group of teachers who want to support you and see you be successful. And so I hope you guys are using this time right now, diving in and really getting caught up on some of that work. I know that this season has not been easy for anybody, and there's probably a lot of anxiety that comes along with this. And so today I was going to share with you guys a little bit of information about anxiety, and just maybe a mindset shift that could work for some of you guys, that has worked for me as a person personally, but also just as a professional. When I have conversations with students or parents, there is anxiety plagues everybody, in little ways or in big ways. Anxiety can be seen as a stress, but it can also seem as something that we feel 100%. And so I want you to kind of take this journey with me and just kind of listen as I talk through this and see if any of it resonates with you. I often will talk to students and families too, about anxiety. And the first question I'll ask is, when they say, "Oh, I feel anxious," I just feel anxious all the time. I say, okay, so what drives that feeling of anxiousness, right? That's one of the questions I'll ask. But the first question I'll ask is, where do you feel that anxiousness? Where in your body do you feel it? Do you feel it in your chest, like this weight and this pressure on your chest? Do you feel it in your stomach, like, oh, I can't even get out of bed? Or maybe you feel it in your head, you get a headache. Getting an idea of where that anxiety is sitting and you feel it in your body will help you slow it down, right? Because it's always about, at the end of the day, self-regulation. If we can help regulate our emotions, regulate ourself, you kind of breathe through it, we'll have more control of our emotions and our feelings and be able to better describe them and get the help we need sometimes. So that's the first part, is asking yourself, where do I feel this anxiousness? Oh gosh, I'm feeling anxious, right? And sometimes we can't slow it down. It hits us real quick and we shut down. And that's okay. So maybe after you've calmed down and been able to regulate, maybe you can look back and say, okay, gosh, where did I feel that when I had that, when I was feeling anxious? And just kind of go back and journal about it, write it down. Second question, and I kind of already said it, was, what drives that anxiousness? Oftentimes, anxiety is a feeling, we feel it, but I will tell people that anxiety actually is a coping mechanism. Typically, it's our body reacting. It's so you get anxious, just like what makes you feel anxious, what gets you anxious, and when you are when I ask you it that way, I want you to really slow down and think about this. What gets you anxious? Oh, well, maybe that FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. But even that, it can go deeper. And so that's why this is really good to kind of write it down, as you slow it down for yourself and say, okay, like, wow, what gets me anxious? Well, I have a fear of missing out. Okay. What are you afraid of when you miss out on things? What is making you feel like you're missing? And when you feel like you're missing out on things, what does that say about you? Oh, well, maybe it says that, you don't deserve those good things, or it's like life is unfair. And so there's this justice side for you, that you feel like things are unfair. And when you feel like things are unfair, you get anxious. Because, it would be nice if things were all fair, if life was fair, right? And so if you're able to address that, if you're able to slow it down, and say, gosh, when I feel like I don't have access to things that other people do, or it's, I'm unworthy or undeserving of those good things, that is a heavy feeling, and that is a hard feeling to carry. And it's a total normal feeling to feel. When we have social media and all these other things out there that tell us, oh, they have the nice this or they have that and I don't, we can often feel inadequate or not good enough. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. But in those moments and in those times, we do feel like it is. That's the only normal. That is the reality that we live in. Our perception becomes our reality, and when we see that, it says that, well, we don't deserve those good things. But when we look at our circumstances right now, where we're all quarantined for the most part, and no one could be out, this is an opportunity to connect with family in a different way, to kind of change how you thought. Maybe we don't feel like we have good things, but there are good people around you still that want to love on you and care for you. Maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a counselor, maybe it's friends that you haven't reached out to and talked to in a while. That those people can help walk you through that anxiety and help support you in feeling loved and feeling good enough and feeling, known, feeling like things are fair, because at the end of the day, like, we have each other. And this is the place that we're in right now, is we are quarantined in for the most part, and we have to do relationships differently, we have to do communication differently, and we have to learn to connect with one another differently than we have been. And while it's so great that we have social media, that is the change in it. We've seen oftentimes where there's this negative stigma of social media, but now we can connect through social media in a positive way. And so let's look at these opportunities as good things that we can connect with one another, and really get to know each other. So, as always, I'm here. You know how to get a hold of me through Schoology, and if you need anything, please just feel free to reach out. Have a great day.